Hi guys, hope all of us are doing great. So today we're going to look at one of the examples as I promised on the concept of the general power rule. And this example is going to assist us, of course, go further and try to find a way of trying to describe some of the concepts which might be additional ones apart from what we had earlier discussed. And it was said that for the application of the general power rule, we first identify a factor of the u, which is the integrand that is raised to a power. And then next we're going to show that its derivative, which is du over dx, is going to be a factor of the integrand. Now in this specific case, then therefore, we're going to see that for such an example that we have been given on the board, we're going to find out that there are some of the cases whereby part of the derivative that du over dx is missing. Hence, we are going to make necessary adjustments in order to try and cater for this specific general power rule which we have been given. Now, in this case, this is going to be elaborate for us if we are going to tackle this specific example and try to see how we can be able to account for that missing part of the du dx, which is part of the derivative that we had mentioned from the condition that I've given for the application of that specific general power rule. So we had said that we're going to identify a part that is raised to a power. Now this specific part in brackets, then therefore we're going to represent it by letting 4x squared be represented as u. And therefore from this specific case, then we're going to have the du over dx being represented as du over dx, which is basically the derivative of this, and this is going to be given as negative. So this is going to be negative 8x. So from this one, we can be able to find the value of dx. So this one implies that dx is going to be equivalent to du over 8x. And this is going to be a negative value. So for us, we're going to find the missing factor of the integrand, which is going to be given using this specific value by inclusion of this part of the constant. We can see that we have a fraction of negative 1 over 8. Therefore, we're going to apply the general power rule that we need to find du over dx, which is negative 8 as a factor of the integrand. Now, in us to proceed, then therefore we can be able to do this specific illustration and try to rewrite this equation in terms of what we have referred to as the du dx. So in order to restore the value of this specific function, then therefore we're going to have the integral over this negative 1 over 8. That one is going to cater for this specific function value, whereby we're required to maintain its value. So that's going to be given times 8x. So in order for us to cater for its value, then therefore this is going to be a negative sign. So that's going to offset this one to just restore the function as it was. So this negative 8x dx given as such. So the value of this specific function is just going to be the same. So in order for us to try and create that missing link in this specific integral function, then therefore I've introduced negative 1 over 8 and 8x at this specific point. So that one is going to assist us in, of course, tackling that using the general power rule. Now we had said about the constant multiple rule and the constant rule for that specific kind of expressions, whereby we said that we are going to take out that part of the equation which is going to form a constant. So for our integral, we are going to have this one represented as negative 1 over 8. We have taken out this specific constant, and then the integral of u squared times, rather just going to put 8x. And then for dx, we had said that we can be able to do a substitution for that one using this specific missing link that we had given as du over dx. And remember, in us, or rather, this du over the value of dx from this specific part is going to be du over 8, and this part was a negative du over 8x. So in this specific case, then therefore we're going to see this one being given as a substitution, whereby from this specific part, our value for negative 8x and then negative du 8x, this negative sign and the 8x is going to be, of course, cancelled as such, and therefore we're going to have 1 over 8. The integral of u squared, and it's going to be u raised to power 3 over 3, and then plus c. So this is going to be given as such, and then we can be able to just restore our equation using this substitution that we had given for u by giving it as 1 over 8. The value for u was 3 minus 4x squared, and then plus c. So this overall, I'm just going to make a summary because of space. This is negative, this specific part. Remember, this u was over 3. So for the denominators of this particular part that is in brackets, and this 8, which is a factor out here, this is going to make a negative of the common denominator 24 given as such. So therefore this is going to give us the value of the integral over this specific nature that we have said we are going to apply that the power rule through giving a substitution of this particular function of u, and then trying to find the missing link, which is going to give us a common factor for 8x. Now in us trying to find this, then therefore we can be able to do a substitution for this specific value, whereby we're going to introduce a constant for negative 1 over 8 and give it as this specific point in order to restore the value of our integral. So therefore, in trying to do this, we're going to substitute this in brackets in terms of u, and therefore this is going to be negative 8x, and then for the value of dx, we had said that we can be able to derive dx from this specific relationship by finding the integral, which is going to be a factor over this integral function. So we're going to have dx given as negative du over 8x, and in now substituting this one negative du over 8x, then we're going to cancel out these specific parts, and we're going to remain with negative 1 over 8 u squared du, and in us finding the integral of this specific part, then therefore this is going to be given as u raised to power 3 over 3 plus c. So this is going to affect this particular section. So therefore we're going to introduce this value for x that we have done a substitution for u at this specific point, and then this is going to be, of course, as I said, raised to power 3 over 24, and then this is going to be plus c given as such. So that's how the various integral functions of this specific nature are going to be treated. And in any case, if we come across such a variation or some situations whereby we are required to find this constant factor that's going to assist us, of course, find the missing link for du dx, then we're going to use this specific procedure in tackling that. So catch us in our next video, where we're going to look at further integrals of some of the functions, like the logarithmic functions that we have come across in some of our discussion. So that is it for now, guys. God bless you. Bye.